All right, everybody. Oh, that no, never mind, because that's not on. Okay, we should be okay now. We should. Oh, wait a minute. We should have sound now. Let me just double check it. But internet's being. It's actually not even the internet. It's the YouTube app, isn't it? I'm just so frustrated with YouTube lately. Internet's working just fine. App is having problems again. It's actually not even. There you go. All right, guys. Well, the snow is apparently a thing right now. Drive and everything was fine, and then about 10 minutes ago, all of a sudden ran into this mess. And I'm in, as you can see there, Bloomington-ish area, Illinois, and I'm trying to get radar to load here, but it's not loading. There we go. I just must have a bad connection. God dang. But there's a pocket of heavy snow between like here and maybe 30 miles north of Bloomington. So I figured we would live stream it. I've seen some of the worst drivers that I've ever seen tonight. I'm not kidding. No offense to anybody who lives in Illinois, but I think there's nearly been probably 10 wrecks in the 20 minutes before I started the stream. And the roads aren't bad. It's just people are just like panicking. I don't know what's going on. So I figured, well, we better go do a live stream. So if somebody decides to do something stupid, we might as well stream it, right? So I'm southwest of Bloomington. You're the only streamer that never says where they're at. Dude, you gotta open your ears. I don't even know how to respond to that. Holy shit. Buddy, you gotta open your ears. I don't know what to tell you, man. I really don't. I literally just told you about 45 seconds prior. That's okay. Thinking is hard. I get it. But anyway, we're going to get back on the interstate here. I just pulled over at the rest area to get the camera running. I didn't plan on doing this. I just figured we'd get something going for the hell of it here. Hell of a rest area, like interchange thing they got going on here. Yeah, it was 75 degrees down there in Mississippi yesterday, and now I don't even know what the temperature is up here. It's cold. So this sucks. But visibility's not terrible, but it's definitely not... it's not the best, and the problem is you got people that just don't comprehend that sometimes you have to stop driving like an idiot sometimes, and it's just been a mess. Your title's wrong. It's not Interstate 39, dude. I'm not gonna. Trust me. I'm not here to fight over technicalities. I'm just telling you that we're on Interstate 55 and we're gonna be on Interstate 39. Like I'm not gonna fight over technicalities. Holy smokes! What the hell? What the heck happened today? Like, Jesus, dude, chill. But we'll have to stop for gas. I think we'll stop just north of Bloomington, probably. I mean, I'm doing 70. The road's fine. It's just, I've driven long enough. Anybody who's driven for more than, 2 months in the snow knows that it's not always the snow. It's how fast the snow happens. And when you get these events like this where it just starts snowing all of a sudden, that's typically when people don't slow down, and that's when you get wrecks. It really doesn't have a whole lot to do with the amount of snow or anything. It's just people that panic and do dumb stuff, I guess. So I'm here for it. So we'll stream for like a half hour to an hour. It's actually snowing pretty hard. I don't think any of this is going to accumulate, though. Like, even looking over there at the grass, it does not look like anything's accumulating. Maybe it is, but it really doesn't look like it. In fact, there's a special weather statement here that basically says gusty winds and some snow will continue until 2 a.m. They're just saying that snow showers are likely to develop behind the cold front, which obviously has gone through. We have snow and not rain, because it was rain up until now. Snow could be heavy at times. Some localized accumulations could exceed or get up to 1 inch of snow, which I get it. You know, whoop-de-doo, who cares, right? But I'm not out here saying, I have to say this because we're in the territory of the Illinois Storm Facebook page, whatever those guys are. I'm definitely not saying that this is an impactful snow system. I am just saying, though, that we've got pretty significant visibility drops out here all of a sudden. So this is where you might actually end up with travel problems tonight. Maybe not necessarily from the road conditions, but from the way people are driving on them or getting into wrecks, because it's kind of a quick hitting, almost like snow squall type thing. I had no idea this was going to be like this. It's actually been a pretty nice day up until now. Looks like it's going to be pretty quiet for a few days, but it's January. It usually picks up in the later part of the month. And like I've been saying these past few streams, if you're new here, you haven't heard it. If you are new, well, you're going to hear it again. Typically, from the middle part, well, I shouldn't even say that. I really should say the entire month of December, but really from like Thanksgiving all the way to the end of January is usually fairly active for severe weather in Dixie Alley, and we just didn't have that this year. We didn't have it last year either, but the year before, 2024 or 2023, you guys might remember that 2023 was very busy. I mean, it was like we were down there from New Orleans to Mobile to Jackson, Mississippi to Birmingham and down to Tallahassee, Florida. Like we were in that area, even East Texas at times. Like 2 or 3 times a week, pretty much from Thanksgiving all the way to the week after New Year's. And that's honestly a little more typical. And anybody who lives down there knows that, you know, the peak tornado season down there, I shouldn't say peak tornado season, the peak storm season in general is usually between like late February and late April. But it does usually start getting active, maybe not big outbreaks, but you'll get stuff kind of like we had yesterday, a couple times a week somewhere down there, and it's just really weird. This is the first, like I said, the first time that I can remember where it's been severe weather down there has been so absent. It's been more absent than it was last year. Last year we were down there a few times. Hell, most of the time on New Year's we're down there chasing a storm, so it's been a little bit weird. But getting into January, that's just how things kind of are. We can usually compensate with the lack of severe weather, though, by having snowstorms, but we haven't even had that. I mean, there's been some snow events, don't get me wrong, and I guess there was one yesterday. It turns out we should have went for the winter storm warning in Kansas yesterday, probably, but the thing is, keep left or right? Keep left. The thing is, usually when you lack that severe weather, you get snow. It's typically not a big snowstorm, because what will happen is you get these troughs of these low pressure systems that bring storms that have a severe weather aspect and a winter aspect. If you're on the cold side of the front, it's snow. If you're on the warm side, it's severe weather. So even without the severe weather, you're typically lacking the big snowstorms. But you'll still have these smaller snowstorms. Like you'll get, maybe 6 to 18 inches somewhere, and you know, it's not a huge deal, but it's still something. We just really haven't had a lot of that, and I know somebody's going to get smart and correct me, but I get it. We've had a few, but this has definitely been a pretty dry winter. Kind of saw this coming though, because the CPC outlooks have just had pretty much everybody in below average precip, so kind of is, you know, a little bit to be expected. It's not like it's a huge surprise. It's just kind of strange, you know, definitely not used to it. Why is this guy on my bumper? Like, just go around. But you have to remember, folks, and this is one of the things we can talk about because I actually had a pretty damn good idea. Alright, I don't know what this guy's doing, but I'm starting to wonder if he's legit trying to, like, push me with the front of his car. What is this idiot doing? There you go. Just took one good brake check. There we go. Yeah, I bet you learned your lesson there, bud. I literally was about to be touching my back bumper. Oh yeah, he's flooring it. Oh, he's so mad. Oh man, poor guy. Oh, my self-esteem hurts for him. Like, it was so hard to go around. I'm actually going over the speed limit right now. He was literally, like, I thought he was pushing my truck. Like, he was riding my ass so hard I could not see his headlights. Like, that's what an idiot. But anyway, like, reckless driving if I've ever seen it. But regardless, this is probably a good thing. It sucks because I don't make a damn dime, and we desperately need money right now to be getting this project going, but it's probably good that it's been a little bit of a slow season, because let's actually think about this for a minute. If we had an above average season, we would probably have some decent money coming in to fund our research mission. But I don't know if that money would have done us any good if we didn't have any time to put anything together. So it's kind of one of those things, like, you're kind of damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. So, and right now I would almost take a little bit of time over a little bit of extra money. It's a hard decision, but man, I tell you, we're almost halfway through January. We're gonna be halfway through January by the end of next week, and I don't know how to feel about that, because just like yesterday we had 3 months, now we have 2.5. It's like, oh my God. This is making me nervous. We're gonna get it done, but it's just one of those things where it's making it nervous. What I was gonna say is I'm gonna have to do some fabrication work. I gotta go buy a stick welder. I used to have a junk Chinese, like, Temu frickin' 110 volt stick welder, and I know there's gonna be somebody out there who's like, oh, those are junk and all that. And listen, I want everybody to understand, we're making equipment that gets hit by tornadoes here. I ain't looking for a pretty weld. I'm looking basically to hot glue 2 pieces of metal together with something other than hot glue. Like, I don't care if it's a bird crap weld, and I don't care if it burns, you know, if we have the proper penetration with the weld. I don't care. I just need to stick the 2 pieces of metal together. So please just hold on. Every time I talk about this, somebody's like, that doesn't work, I'm a welder. Cool, man. All right. Good for you. Like, whatever, who cares, right? But anyway, the Harbor Freight 110 volt stick welders are actually good enough. I mean, we're welding 1/4 inch tubing here. I actually have a redesign for our probe system. We were going to do some stakes. I was talking to an engineer on the phone on the way up, a fabricator. He was like, you know what? Screw the stakes. And I'm like, why? He's like, you got to pound those in. I'm like, yeah, so? And he's like, no. He's like, either take a flat base, either like a disc of metal. And I'm like, well, that's going to be too expensive. And he's like, okay, well, take a 3-foot pieces of 1/2 inch tubing. I'm like, okay. And he's like, put them on a little hinge thing, you know, so they unfold like a tripod, and then pin them so you can put a little cotter pin through it, or like a hitch pin or whatever, to lock them down, and then you've got like a 3-legged base that goes 3 foot out and it's 6 foot across. He's like, nothing's gonna tip that over. And I'm like, yeah, you got a point. And then it all just folds up, and you don't have to dick around with trying to anchor something in the ground. You just pull the pin, you let the things down. So really easy to build, really easy to fabricate. Just need a stick welder. So I'm gonna go get that hopefully this week, and this is what the GoFundMe is doing, folks. I mean, this is crap. I mean, every day this gets more and more expensive. Now I gotta go buy more tools. Like, I gotta go buy a bench grinder. It's gonna be, what, $150. I gotta go buy a freaking stick welder. It's gonna be $150. You know, It's just this stuff adds up. So I want everybody to, the reason I tell you guys this is a progress update. This is not a, oh, pity me. This is your progress update for what we're doing with your money on the GoFundMe. This is where it's going. Progress update for the camera launch. I told you guys if we got to $10,500 by, was it last week or something? I said we would prioritize doing a launch of a 360 GoPro camera via weather balloon, and then we would post the video because that's pretty cool. We were able to hit that. Thank you to whoever contributed. So I am prioritizing it. One of the things that I'm going to be working on this week is thermally insulating a GoPro 360 camera that I've acquired, and without using styrofoam or a large payload. I think I can do it with Mylar blankets that'll only add like maybe 10 to 20 grams to the payload, because those 360 cameras get extremely hot. I'm talking like 130 to 140 degrees when they're in 4K or 5K, whatever it is. Like super hot. I measured one with a laser thermometer. My God, they get freaking hot. So they generate plenty of heat. So if we can insulate that with a Mylar blanket, and then poke holes in it, I think we'll be good. The other way to do it would be to put it in a capsule of styrofoam with a hand warmer. But now we're adding significant weight to the payload, and I'm willing to try, folks. I'm willing to try. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. Oh well, then we know for next time. But if it does work, I tell you what, there might be a lot of happy people out there, because there's a lot of hobbyists that like to launch cameras from balloons and stuff just as a hobby, like amateur weather balloon type people. And I haven't seen any of them do this, and I haven't seen any of them test this. So if we test it and it's successful, we might make a lot of people happy, because they might be able to do that versus a styrofoam capsule. Now, sometimes you need a styrofoam capsule depending on what you're doing, but for a fair weather launch going up to like 55,000 feet, you would probably get away with the Mylar, I think. So there's a lot going on. There's a lot of ingenuity going on, and I just had somebody throw something at me today, and I got to put the pressure on our friend Don at Radar Omega, because I desperately need a lightning system now. Guys, I got somebody involved that wants to add lightning to the mix for Rise 26. So now we've added another how many thousands of dollars worth of shit to this freaking mission. Jesus Christ. It's almost depressing thinking about it, but I'm like, yeah, we got to do this. So we're trying to train an AI model. Now, I know everybody hears AI and they're like, gross. No. I'm not talking about like an AI thing for you guys. I'm talking about like something that looks at data and helps us analyze it. I'm not looking to train an AI model to give us answers. I'm looking to train an AI model to help us compare things, right? At higher resolution than we as humans can. And then we'll come to our own conclusions, draw our own paper and all that, write our own paper and stuff. And that's something I want to talk to you guys about, because I sat down with a new member of our team, and I decided that I'm going to come out of the closet on something here. No, I'm not gay. I know if Patrick's in there, he's going to be like, oh God, Vince is coming out of the closet. No. And if anybody's going to cancel me over saying that, it's a joke, because I'm sure Patrick's out there, and I'm sure Patrick's about to be like, oh my God, he's coming out of the closet. But no, I'm about to come out of the closet with something that I've been working on. Just lack of a better term. Calm down, people. It's okay to joke around. I know it's 2026, but Jesus Christ. With something on that. But we want to throw lightning in the mix. And I had a long discussion. I'm like, well, maybe we need to do this. Maybe we need to do lightning next year. But I got a pretty good sales pitch on why we need to do lightning this year. A lot of you guys don't know this, but lightning is extremely likely to be a precursor to tornadic activity. In fact, some of the lightning detection systems out there, like the ones that scientificsales.com sells, those Skyscan systems, a lot of those will actually look at the lightning activity and say, hey, this is a squall line, or hey, this is a supercell, based on the type of lightning activity. There's a lot of open source lightning databases out there that have compared different types of lightning activity, and you can actually basically import that. So you don't have to start from scratch. We can start with a base. So it's definitely something that's being used in practicality, so I want to use it. The sales pitch I got was pretty solid. Like, you know what? we're going to be launching high-resolution radio sonde data, and we're going to be doing high-resolution ground probes in and around tornadoes and hail. Why the hell don't we get a goddamn lightning detection system? Which we do. Scientific Sales actually sells Boltec systems. Radar Omega and Cyclone Port actually use Boltec for internal lightning networks. That's what a lot of you guys don't know. Cyclone Port has Radar Omega has an internal lightning network with Boltec equipment, and that's where I gotta rattle Don's cage. I need one of those systems. We need to be doing our own high resolution lightning, because with this data that we're capturing, we can be looking at high resolution, low grid square spacing lightning activity. And if we're looking to start putting this through a lot of AI models to be able to help us determine things, why can't we look at this and say, hey, there's a lot of lightning associated with, let's say, an enhanced or an elevated mixed layer that we're detecting on a sounding very close to the inflow or something that a storm is going to move into. And like, okay, we're seeing a lot of lightning happen when we get this type of sounding and we get a tornado or we get giant hail. I'm trying to kind of make this very vague because there's a lot of specifics, but a lot of the specifics are very hard to understand. But I'm like, you know what? We do need to be doing this. So I need to now figure out how we're going to ingest lightning data into our API live and co-locate the strikes. So that's our update. We're going to make it happen one way or another. But I got a pretty good sales pitch on this, and I was like, you are right. We need to do this. So this is going to be a pretty cool year. And where I was getting at, folks, is the coming out of the closet thing. Our credibility has been seriously questioned here by some people that don't really matter, but I'm a spiteful person, and if you F me over, I'm going to F you back even harder. And the way that I can do that responsibly is by sticking my middle finger up somebody's nose. And I got questioned by some losers, but I kind of want to tell them off. So I'm going to go ahead and put this out there. We are actually I am trying to put all of our findings in a paper, and I'm like freaking 32 pages into this. Basically writing a huge paper that we're going to probably put out by next spring, but of our findings. And right now I'm trying to write everybody through, academically how we're calculating our values, how we're putting this together, how all this works, and we're working through the technicalities now. But once severe weather season slows down, September, October, I'm going to hopefully have enough data that we can go through and start drawing some conclusions from what we found. And obviously that's what we're going to try to publish. I'm not associated with a university or anything, so this isn't going to be like that type of paper, but this is going to be a very long, drawn-out thing of everything that we're doing, like a report, so we can actually present our findings. We were going to do this anyway, but I think we're going to publish the first part of it, which is exposing the algorithms and how this stuff works, because we actually do virtual temperature correction in our soundings different than pretty much anybody else does. It's still accurate, but we do it ever so slightly different to make more sense with an observed radio sounding, where we with our eyes have seen where we're going to have issues with the data that a lot of other sounding engines, they're not accounting for. Probably because the people that build them aren't out here doing this, and that there's nothing wrong with them. They're fine, but I think that we were able to tweak the virtual temperature correction for the lifted parcel on the soundings, which is going to give us our CAPE, all sorts of values like that. Lifted parcel is like a theoretical thing. Like if we took a chunk, like a section of air, like an invisible bag of air, and let it float, that's basically that's our parcel, and we're just plotting it on the sounding. And you don't have to do what's called a virtual temperature correction. You don't have to do that, but you can do it to make it a little bit more accurate. And I was looking at this, and I'm just like, God damn, the way it's doing, I'm like, we can do that slightly different here. So we are, and I don't know if it's really any more accurate, but I think it's more correct. And it's just one of those things where I can say, hey, we've done our homework, and we're doing it the best of our ability, and that's all that's important. So the reason you try to do that for accuracy is because the air, as air dries, it can cool a little bit, and it, like, for lack of a better term and getting into the meteorology of it, the air parcel, or the section of air, like, imagine a bag of air and the bag is weightless. You know, just like if you took a pile of air, a piece of air, I guess. And that's our parcel. And I know, because I've ran it through so many soundings, and it comes out to be as accurate, if not, in my opinion, slightly more accurate, ever so slightly accurate with high resolution soundings. Lower resolution soundings, it doesn't matter as much. High resolution soundings like this, it does. But it has to do with like pendulum swing of the sonde, and inaccuracies because of dirty data, because we have data every 1 second, and the issues and human error and things like that, but whatever. Regardless, as that air dries out, as it goes up, that parcel of air, it dries out. Air cools when it dries, but to put it very simply, we're kind of correcting for that factor of how the air behaves a little bit differently as it dries out. So it's like you're removing one small piece of the puzzle that might make the data a little bit wrong. And when I say a little bit wrong, I mean just barely wrong. I mean, it's not, I don't think a virtual temperature correction is necessary, in my opinion. And I'm sure a lot of researchers and atmospheric scientists might argue with me. But I don't think that it's really that important. But it's one of those things where it's like, we can do it, so we should do it. And the issues that I have is a lot of these sounding engines are getting baseline values that are already slightly erroneous. So, we talked about how we're filtering out and cleaning our data, because at the surface, the wind data is not going to be totally accurate, because the sonde is moving around, it's swinging back and forth, it hasn't stabilized, whatever, that first like 300 to 500 feet, 100 to 150 meters or so. Well, we're trying to do that a little bit here with our temperature, because I am a little bit concerned that we may be skewing our temperature a bit. Like, for example, if we're launching on blacktop, you've got a bubble of warmer air, so we need to omit the first couple of meters of temperature, but not necessarily all the time. So what we're trying to do is we're looking at surface-based observations, or the surface ob, and then we're trying to look at, hey, did this decrease like in the first 50 feet that it ascended, or let's just say the first 50 meters, 150 feet, did we have a rapid decrease in temperature, and if so, how much? And then putting that on a scale, and then backtracking, looking at that, and being like, okay, well, we might need to flag this surface observation as erroneous. Potentially. Not that it matters a whole lot, but where that surface observation matters a lot is your CAPE value. Let's say you've got a surface observation of 80 degrees, and then just a few meters above the surface, it's down to 70 degrees, and then 60, 50, 40 as you go up with height. Well, that's going to look like explosive CAPE. What if the surface observation is really 73 degrees, and it was just 7 degrees higher because it was smoking ass hot on the asphalt? So that's one of the things that we can't always control where we launch, and it's not always a controlled environment, so we have to look into the data and automatically correct for some of this stuff. And then when an automatic correction happens, we have to flag the data and say, hey, there was an automatic correction made here. Basically, if this sounding is, or this data is used for like research purposes later on, FYI, there may be a discrepancy here. It might not be a huge one. It might only affect CAPE, 50 to 100 joules or something, maybe, if even. But it's one of those things where if you look at it later, if there's some groundbreaking thing on it, you can say, hey, there might be an error point here. So there's a lot of things going on, and I'm trying to document this and put this in a big paper, basically, or it's probably going to end up being a fucking book at this point, but put this in a big write-up here. It's going to be like hundreds of pages, so that there is credibility, because a lot of these people seem to think that I'm a fucking idiot, and it's getting really old, but there is credibility here, and it gives me something to back up our findings, because otherwise, you know, we're just getting accused of making this up. Like I never thought that we were going to get people in the private sector. What I find interesting is people in the private sector, like storm chasers, and some of these private meteorologists are just shitting all over this thing. But the government, like NOAA and the National Weather Service, METS, and the colleges and universities, like, they're all for it. And I'm starting to think it's because the college universities and the government and the research METS, they don't have a horse in the race. They want to see this succeed because they want the data. Whereas the people in the private sector are pissed off because it's something that, you know, they can't use to make money off of. I think that might be where this is coming from. And I kind of look at this and I'm like, all right, well, I'm in a big old I told you so moment here, and do it even better just to rub a thorn in your ass cheek here, I guess, basically. Like, I'm a little bit spiteful like that, and I probably shouldn't be, but it's kind of like, if you're going to sit here and talk a bunch of crap about us busting our asses here to progress research, then that's fine. Oh my God, turn your fucking lights off. Seriously? Oh my God, you idiot. Sorry, but really? But I'm gonna do it even better, just to rub a thorn in somebody's butt. Dude, you are still blinding me. What are you doing? I gotta get on the brakes here. I can't drive like that. Holy crap. Like, your loading lights are on, dude. How do you not know that? God damn. I hope he gets pulled over. That's actually really dangerous, because you don't know they're on until he gets right past you, and then they blind the crap out of you. Oh, that's the side of the road. God dang. No, it's a trailer. Yeah, I gotta stop for gas. There's a Love's up here, but is it north of Peoria? Oh, hey, Don's watching because I started talking about the lightning shit and then he responded. That's funny. Hi, Don. Everybody say hi to Don. Oh, shit. We're not going to make this, Loves, are we? I might run out of gas. We might have to turn around. Oh, shit. We got a problem here. I might have to turn around. I think I'm going to run out of gas. Okay, well, there is... Don't let me pass Winona. Don't let me pass Winona without checking the fuel gauge, because that's going to be our last chance at gas, and we're going to run out. No, I don't have any spare gas on here. It's a 32-gallon fuel tank, so no, I don't bother with spare gas on this. If I run out, it's 100% my own fault. And there is no valid reason on a highway like this to run out of gas. Like, if that were to happen, it would be 100% my fault. Don't speed. Well, too late. Snow's starting to stick a little bit. Oh, Christ, there's Paul. What's Paul got to say? Paul demands that I immediately tell him who's talking shit. Paul, I'll fill you in. Paul heard his name. He's like, oh, Boltec? I got Boltec. You want a balloon to go with your Boltec? Yeah, rumor has it if you buy a Boltec system from Paul, he sends you a free balloon. I'm just kidding. He probably doesn't. I don't know why you would want a balloon, but So what do you guys want me to do with all these radio songs that we can't use? So if Zach is in the chat, I gotta pick on Zach right now, and I don't mean to. And I pick on Zach because he's got the same personality that I do, where like when something starts getting like frustrating, he gets pissed. like if I'm trying to do something and it's not working, I just get pissed off. And so I imagine that Zach launching a weather balloon is gonna result in some cussing until he's done it a few times. And I fully, like, I'm all for that. So we've got 200 radio songs that are basically useless. They work on L-band. They're old NOAA stuff. They actually don't have a GPS in them, which is weird. They're old Visala RS-92 DDs. They're actually the like military version. They don't have a GPS, and I don't know why. But we have the songs. And what my plan is to use them for training. So instead of, like, if we're going to train somebody to launch a weather balloon, I can eat the cost of a balloon and the helium for the sake of them practicing. I really can't eat the cost of the balloon, the helium, and the radio son, because like we don't need to launch 3 radio sons to train somebody. We just need to release the balloon kind of thing. So we're just going to use those radio sons that are basically paperweights as dummies for training. I think it's a really good idea. It gives us like 200 training rounds. So for people, the sons themselves would work. It's just they're in L band, which is like the same band as NOAA port and all that, 1680 whatever megahertz. But they don't have GPS, so you wouldn't get a hodograph. It's not worth it. It's just dumb. But so I think that's what we're gonna do with them. But what I want to do, like I said, we got 200 of these things. I don't know what I'm going to do with 200. I thought about setting aside 100 of them and making them into, like, trophies for people. Like, maybe some of our, like, long-term audience supporters or something should get a son. Like, we'll give you, like, it's a piece of Weather Service history, guys. Like, they've got NOAA contract number stickers on them. Like, these were, like, this is 15, 20 year ago history from the National Weather Service. Like, if you think that kind of stuff is cool, like, they're not open, they're sealed, they're vacuum sealed. Like, if you want, like, we could give 2. Like, we could have, like, everybody that's going to get one, if they want, they could have 2. We could make, like, a trophy out of the sond itself, and then we could give you, like, an unopened one if you want to have a sealed one, like, that's never been opened, like, just for the novelty of it. I think that'd be cool. Like, maybe put like a decal on it, like, you know, fan of Project Weather Eye or something. I think that'd be kind of cool. I gotta make a patch order too. We're gonna spend probably $500 on patches. I've got somebody out there in New Jersey on the East Coast that does a print shop, and they're able to get us printed patches, really nice ones, for basically $1 a patch, in the shape of the logo. And I'm just like, oh, thank God. Like, I can't beat that price. So we're gonna get like 500 freaking patches made to hand out. So that's part of what the GoFundMe is going for too. But like, we're gonna have patches stuff. So like, if you guys see us out here in the field, you know, you can, if you want a patch, you can have one. So I actually encourage you guys, if you want to come, you know, see a weather balloon launch or something in the field, by all means, showing up. It's just the only thing that I'm trying to be careful of is, like, this even happens with me right now. Like, you pull into a Love's and a bunch of like weather weenies like come up and they bombard you and you can't even go take a dump in the toilet. Like, seriously, like, it's the most frustrating thing ever when like you have to go to the potty and like everybody's like surrounding you, and it's like, okay, I gotta go to the bathroom. And then I never forget, last year there was this guy, college dude or whatever, and I said, hey man, I gotta go to the bathroom, I'll be back. And he's like, oh, one question. And I said, I have to go take a shit. And he's like, no, just one question. I was like, I will answer it, give me a minute. And it made me so mad because it put me in a spot where I felt like I was a jerk, but I wasn't. I had to go to the potty, and you're literally standing between me and the door. Like, I have to go to the bathroom. I will talk to you, but please, for the love of God, let me go to the fucking bathroom. And I came back out, and he was like, okay, I have that question. I'm like, yes, what is your question now that I've gone to the bathroom? Like, it's like, damn, I am very grateful that people respect what we do, that they want to come up and talk to us. I just ask that you please understand that we are working and this is a research mission. And this is the hard truth, that when I tell people this, it's not good for me as a social media influencer, because as a social media influencer, you never want to make the audience feel unwelcomed. The audience is not unwelcomed. You're just welcomed at a certain time. Let's put it that way. I don't want anybody to feel like I'm saying, hey, don't come interact with us. But to answer the question, no, sometimes there's times where we have to focus. One of those times is when I'm driving my car. The other time is if we're trying to get a weather balloon launched and it's a chaotic situation, it's extremely windy and stuff, it might be best to just wait a minute before you come talk to us and let us complete what we're doing. And then we'd be happy to answer your questions if we can. But understand that we might have to respectfully say, hey, unfortunately, we have to keep moving. I don't have time right now, but maybe the next gas station. Just understand that that is going to potentially be an answer. And I just ask that everybody's kind, receptive of that and doesn't think that we're being assholes. So what I think I'm going to do to circumvent that, because I know a lot of people are interested in this, maybe we need to coordinate like stuff like this, like certain days, like, okay, well on Mondays we're going to do like, we'll set up a time and a date, and if everybody wants to come witness the weather balloon launch, we'll do this. And maybe that'll give like the weenies and the audience and stuff and other storm chasers, like if they want to see this, be like, okay, well we're going to do it today, and we'll go do it from the Loves, and we're going to do it at 2:00. Hey, this not a whole lot's going on. Today's the day. If you want to come see this, come do it. And I think that's a good way to do it. Like I said, I'm not trying to discourage anybody. I try to put that disclaimer out there a little bit, because sometimes what happens is people mean well, but you'll be trying to get something done, and then someone will come up and like they will very, very, very much so be distracting you. And then when you kind of have to ignore them to keep doing what you're doing, then they perceive it as you're being rude. And it's not. It's just we can't compromise the mission kind of thing. So hopefully that explains the answer to your question. Hopefully that explains that without me sounding like a jerk. Because I'm really not trying to be a jerk. I'm just trying to explain it without trying to be stern, but I'm also trying to respect that, yes, people want to get involved, and I'm all for that. You aren't gonna please everyone. Yeah, believe me. Trust me. I sure as hell don't expect it. That's for sure. Wow. All right. Yeah, I thought about doing some sort of like community day, like maybe twice per like peak season. Maybe right before we go out on a deployment, and then maybe right after, and like maybe do one in like, I don't know, Norman or Oklahoma City, and then maybe do the next one in like Omaha, like, popular areas for storms. Like just do like a meetup at a hotel or a gas station or something, like let people that like want to see this stuff and like want to actually have time to have their questions answered, like give them a place that like we can actually do that without being rushed. I thought that would be a good idea. It's just hard to coordinate a lot of that. Because trust me, like we want people to see this, we want people to know about it. It's just really hard to do because the nature of what we do is extremely chaotic. So that might be a good thing to do. It's just every day I come up with something new that we got to do, and it's like, oh, well, we don't have time to figure this out. So I'm just, I don't know, guys. It's been something. Like I'm very grateful that we have this opportunity, and it's sketchy. I mean, we are underfunded and under-influenced, I guess. I don't know if that's the right way to say it. Underfunded and undershared. Like I wish we could get hundreds of thousands of people watching what we're doing, because it is so important. And I think at some point we're going to start getting a bunch of people that watch it. The problem is Um, when you don't do like clickbaity stuff, you don't get a lot of views for streaming. It's just because it's the nature of live streaming. It can be kind of boring. Um, so, but I tell you what, I think we're about to get into something big because there's nobody out here doing this. There's no other radar app. There's no other software company. There's no other YouTube channel. There's no other private entity, anybody that's taking on a research mission. Guys, I'm not even 30 years old. I don't have a pot to frickin' piss in. I mean, I do, but I don't. It's all relative. Like, I don't want anybody to think that I'm on like frickin' the cracker diet here. Like, all I can afford is crackers. But it's one of these things where I'm gonna stop for gas here. It's just one of those things where it's like, literally every fucking dime that I make goes into this damn thing. It's damn near it, and I'm fine with that. I'm angry about it, but I shouldn't say I'm angry. Like, I'm annoyed because this channel's doing really good lately, and I could use that to like have a life. But no, I'm dumping into this freaking project because I think eventually this project is probably going to be able to support a lot of people if we do it right. Just solely on the amount of social media content that's going to come out of this, I think this stuff does really good on social media, especially Facebook. Guys, I want you to understand something. I had that bonehead freaking, and I'm sorry, I never thought I'd say that about him, but I had that bonehead the other day accusing me of buying viewers. That's not the case. And then there were people in that thread saying, oh, Vince doesn't get any views. He fucking sucks. Okay, well, you know what? Vince has done this longer than you kids have. So I don't, and I'm still here and I've been around longer. So I don't mean to be rude, but it's one of those things where it's like, I think I might know what I'm doing a little bit. Maybe it's not all about the clickbait. But where I was going with this is, you guys might not notice this, but Facebook is actually our growing primary platform. Facebook is going to be, if we continue on the rate we are, Facebook is going to exceed our YouTube by May. It is very possible that Facebook will become our primary platform for everything we do. I'm not saying that we're going to stop streaming on YouTube. That's not what I'm saying. I mean, like, the primary like income generator, the primary outreach generator, like the new audience is probably going to come from there. Like, I think a lot of our, like, we're not going to change YouTube. I'm just saying that I think we're about to see Facebook actually take over because Facebook does really good with educational content. YouTube doesn't so much. It does, but it doesn't. YouTube's a little more clickbait type stuff. But what we're doing, like, I post these videos discussing what we're doing, and you know what? They might not get a bunch of views. They might only get 1,200 views. But you know what? The amount of money that 1,200 views is making is exceeding 5 to 6 times what 20,000 views would do on YouTube for that amount or something like that. Facebook pays a lot of money in revenue. Oh my god, this damn pump is all covered in snow. I'm not using that one. Facebook pays a lot of money for longer, like, educational type content like that is interesting. Oh my god, this one's out of, this one's out of service too? It's got a bag on, what the frick's going on here? Try this one. Out of service. Oh my god, is anything in service here? Are we just not getting gas today? That guy got gas. Did this guy get gas over here? Yeah, sorry about the signal. I gotta figure out, for some reason, we're getting stuck on Starlink, and it's not switching to cellular when Starlink's having a fault.
Head west. Turn left.
Okay, these ones are working.
Then immediately turn right.
I gotta figure out why it's doing that. I think it's with this router. It should be an easy fix. I gotta figure out what the deal is, though. The audio quality is probably just top notch because we're not driving down the road, honestly. So I don't know if you guys have ever seen them, but I got these DJI mics. Don't buy these. Don't buy these because there's a DJI mic 3, and the battery lasts a little longer. I actually, if I can get $300 or $400 to spare, I think that's what they are. Not going to be anytime soon. If I get like $300 or $400 to spare, it might be worth the upgrade, because I have to when the mic dies, it's because this died, and the battery dies, and this died, and then I just switch over. So I just turn this one on, and it boots this one off. And I've got like 5 of these things, so I can just switch them out. They last like 6 hours, so I mean I can go all day, but that's why. And I just keep 2 of them up here. But these work really well because they plug in with USB-C, and they have pass-through charging for the phone. So I don't have to run like a splitter or a power dongle or anything. And it's nice because then I can carry the audio outside of the car. I used to use a little shotgun mic up here on the dash pointed back, but that was terrible. I mean, it worked, but it was terrible if you were doing anything else. But no, what I was saying about the underfunded thing, somebody was like, well, you didn't pay yourself more. No, what I was talking about is like, we don't get grants. We don't get, because I'm not eligible. I'm not a entity. Well, I am, but I'm not. But like, we don't get grants. We don't get sponsored by GoPro. We don't get sponsored by General Tire and stuff. Like, there's a lot of companies out there that sponsor storm chasers, and we've sent some really, really good proposals to them. Really good proposals about how we can actually promote them and use them in what we're doing organically. And nobody responds. I mean, I have actually had people do it for me, and I've done. It's just these companies. It's really hit or miss. Like, if they notice you, they notice you, but if they don't, they don't. Because I tried getting GoPro. I don't know what's. Yeah, I'm gonna take the damn thing off of Wi-Fi. Hold on, this is ridiculous. All right, I just took it off of Wi-Fi. It might have glitched for a second, but I tried to get GoPro because I was like, you know what, guys, we're gonna like. I need to get some GoPro cameras or DJI action cameras for this year. We need to have a bunch of these to just stick them everywhere. And I was like, you know what, hey guys, like, not really seeking money here, but do you think I could get maybe 10 of your cameras with like a bunch of batteries? And what we'll do is we'll make you like the exclusive camera partner of this groundbreaking research mission that's never been done in this form before. And wrote him a huge proposal, actually made some graphics and made some examples of how we would promote them, and I didn't get it. I didn't get anything. Tried sending it to people and emails that we knew were good because we've used them for other things before, and no interest. So I tried DJI and no interest. I tried Insta. Insta actually told me to pound sand, basically. So I appreciate them for getting back to me, but you just it's hard. And I'm not saying that I want to rely on commercial sponsors. I don't want to become a NASCAR out here, but it would be nice if we could maybe find some additional partner stuff, because like it's so expensive to do this. Because I mean, you know, $30,000 in radiosondes, like, it's a big ask. Like, this project is sucking me dry. But the good news is I have a long-term plan for it, because, like I said, after we start getting more content with it, the social media content alone should be able to perpetually fuel the project in years after this. We just need to get the content, because the content from it's actually doing really well, guys. Especially the Facebook Reels, they're generating a decent amount of money, and that's kind of where I was going with that. And I wanted to give you guys a project update of where we're going and why we're running the fundraiser and stuff like this. So, I don't know. I still can't believe we couldn't snag GoPro, because GoPro has sponsored a lot of storm chasers in the past. Maybe that's why. Maybe they've had a bad experience. But we had like, they sponsor skateboarders and stuff, and it's like, you know, guys, I'm literally saying we could, number one, probably get your camera in a tornado, but number two, like, we could fly your camera to the stratosphere and drop it and go retrieve it, and we can use it to live stream our balloon launches and all sorts of stuff. I really thought it was a solid proposal, because I wasn't even asking for money. I was just asking, like, hey, like, ideally I could really use like 10 of these between all, like, because like we've got a lot of people, me, Aiden, Zach, Chad, Tyler, damn it. I'm missing like a bunch of people. John, Tanya, there's a bunch of people that are out here that I would like to be able to give like a GoPro or something to and be like, hey, well, you're doing stuff for us. Like, obviously, the probe deployments, the balloon launches, the chasing, that all comes first. Do your thing. But it would be really cool if you could like vlog what you're doing or just like take some little like shots of what you're doing. And it would be so nice if we could just say, hey, here's a camera, just use this, just hit the record button, just like show people what you're doing a little bit, and then we can make something out of it. And that was kind of my proposal to them, was it was like, you know, we can actually make this into like a YouTube series very easily. Like, and you know, I actually even offered, I was like, we would even be willing to turn this over to GoPro and sell the rights to whatever we come up with for this for GoPro to monetize if they wanted to, because I've seen them do this with some of their stuff on YouTube. You know, they post people's stuff on YouTube and pay them for it. I was like, I would actually be willing to turn that over if you would supply equipment and you could actually post this stuff on your YouTube. Because like I flat out told them I wasn't seeking financials, I was seeking equipment, because that would be one less thing that we have to spend other money on. And I don't know, maybe they'll get back to me. Maybe somebody from there is watching. I mean, I'd love to work with them. I mean, they are a good company. I'm definitely not complaining about them. I'm just saying it would be really cool if we could get somebody's attention over there, because I think this is a project that, guys, I think this is going to be way cooler than anything you've ever seen. I mean, we've literally got meteorologists, graduate students, radar engineers, electrical engineers, climatologists, storm chasers, like going out in the field. And this has happened before. There's been big things like rotate and vortex and all this stuff. But it's never been done live in a POV experience from multiple people. I'll be streaming. Zach will be streaming. When Aiden's out, he'll be streaming. You're going to be able to watch so many different facets of it live. You're really going to be there. Like, this is going to be really, really interesting. And that's just the entertainment portion of it. You know, obviously it's valuable from the research and the data perspective, for sure. But we have to look at the entertainment, because here's the thing. The data and the research, I don't think it makes any money. I don't think we're going to really make any money unless you monetize the data. But that's not in the good spirit of science. I have no problem if there's a private entity or a business that says, hey, I want that data for our in-house weather model, or I want that data for this. Okay, if you're a business and you're making money off of it, then you have to pay up. It's as simple as that. Researchers, meteorologists, kids doing studies, the Weather Service, you don't monetize it for them. That's bad science ethics. So you really don't make much money on the data. You make the money on the entertainment. That's why. So the goal, the intention here, is that the experience, the entertainment from this, will generate enough income to fund the science. I think it will. I really do. And that's actually kind of a cool thing, because that basically makes us the only YouTube channel out here that's using their viewers' money to do science and research missions. I take that back. Reed does. He does his own thing. I like Reed. I don't like the people around him, especially that Casey dude. I'm sorry, that fake search and rescue thing. Somebody needs to sit down with Reed. That guy is not credentialed, but I like Reed, and I like what he does. He is the only one out here besides this mission that actually does anything besides just scream and run around and look like well, I shouldn't say that, because you've got good chasers out here. He's like one of the only one. He is the only other one that will take people's money generated from YouTube or whatever and do something with it other than drive around. Because right now what we have is there's nothing wrong with this. Before now, like up until the past 2 years, when you guys would watch the channel and super chat, do all that stuff, or PayPal, whatever, that went to me and, you know, our small group to running the YouTube channel and stuff, right? But now that money's not really going to me. Well, it is, it's going to me, and then I'm going to here. But it's it's paying for something other than the live streaming. Before, it was just paying for the live streaming. It was covering the cost of, but now it's actually paying for the bigger picture. And that's the direction that I want this to go in. And this is the direction it will either go in or it will die. And I won't do this because I'm not going to go down the direction of the clickbait. There's so many people that have gotten so greedy. It's like, boom, the light switch hits. They get 100,000 followers and they turn greedy. And I'm not talking about chasers. I'm just talking about YouTubers in general. And I want to maintain let's say the audience is this big. I want to maintain an audience this big of people that are dedicated to what we do. I'm not out here to get views. We are to a point because we have to get people to watch to make money to do the project. But I want people, my goal is to reach the people that have a genuine interest and care about this, or are just genuinely and like wholeheartedly, wholesomely, honestly entertained by it. I really don't care about people that are looking for something that don't exist. People that are just looking for like the thrill seeking, but it's all kind of manufactured. Like, oh my God, big tornado over there, and it's just a cloud. You see that happen sometimes, and I'm not really. I don't want to. We want to attract people because we do good work, not because we have a loud mouth. And on social media, it's a contest of who can have the loudest mouth. So you got that working against you. But just because things are working against you does not mean that it's not possible to do, because we're here. And what a lot of people don't understand is I'm exactly where I want to be. Everything that we've done has been calculated. We are ahead on our fundraiser. I'll be honest with you guys, I never thought it would break $1,000. I thought people would just be like, this is stupid. Why am I paying for it? But we're almost 50%. It'd be cool if we could hit 50% before the 15th of January. No, the 18th of January. So I think it was the 18th of January or 18th of October when I started. So it would be November, December. So that would be like 3 months we hit 50%. That'd be cool. But anyway, we are actually a little bit ahead of well, I shouldn't say that. We're right on par with where I want to be. We're ahead of where I thought we would be, but we're right on par of where I want to be. Obviously, I would be happy to be ahead in general with progress and financials, but I'm happy with where we're at because there's a light at the end of the tunnel. Like, I don't know how we're going to make these some of these payments that we have to make for the Sans, because I've got a $30,000 line of credit now that has to be paid. Thank God for the line of credit for them. So thank you, Intermet. Appreciate that. But there's a light at the end of the tunnel. I see the goal bar going up. I see the stuff being built. I see our systems working, and it's like, okay, like, there is an end to this. There's a light at the end of the tunnel. We're going to get there. I don't know how we're going to get there, but we are going to get there. And that's a huge morale boost, I think, for me and a lot of people that are involved in this project, to be like, okay, things are starting to work. Like, we have visual confirmation that there is progress. We see the stuff working, we see the stuff getting built, and the funds are starting to trickle in a bit here. So we can look at this and be like, all right, we're doing something right. I'm sure we can adjust things and do things better to speed this process up. But as of right now, everything's working pretty well. We're getting there. So I'm actually quite happy. So there's your progress update. Anyway, somebody had asked for a progress update like an hour ago. I think I'm going to order Subway. Arby's sucks. Don't even get me started. There was a food poisoning incident in 2022 in an ice storm, and I really don't want to talk about it. It was bad. I'm going to order this Subway here, but I'm going to use the app because I don't want to talk to people. Oh, damn it, I got to sign in. So the problem that I have at Subway, I keep running into... So I don't know if this is actually a thing or not, but apparently you can only order off the menu now. Like, is that a thing? Because this has been like 2 or 3 times in a row I've gone into a different Subway and I've been like, hey, can I get a sandwich with this, this, and this on it? And they're like, well, we got this and this, and like they're pointing at the menu. I'm like, no, no, no. Like, I just want like bread, turkey, and then bread. And then can you heat it up? Oh, so you want a turkey club? And I'm just like, no, I literally want a piece of bread with turkey and then a piece of bread. And then I want you to put it in the toaster oven, make it warm, and put it in a bag and just sell it to me. And like, oh, well, that's a number 6, and I got to charge you for this and this and this. It's like, I thought you used to be able to go into Subway and just be like, hey, I want this, this, and this, and they would just charge you. Like, what? But if you go on the app, then they don't ask questions. So I want like their freaking egg sandwich thing, you know, where they take like the fried egg and stuff. I don't know, but I hate going to Subway because I feel like they're judging me based on my sandwich. Like, oh, this guy eats like a little kid. Which I'm sure they are, but they're not wrong, but start order. Okay. Okay, so you go in here and then you order the tuna. Gross. I'm not getting tuna. That's disgusting. You do where's the breakfast crap? Clubs, local favorites. Do they not have it? You've got to be freaking yanking my chain, buddy. Come on, man. No. You should be able to get... What the frick, man? God dang it. This is ridiculous. Man, what the frick? Oh, here we go. Bacon, egg, cheese. No, steak, egg, cheese. Steak. It's like when you go into Qdoba and they ask you, what do you want for your protein? I'm like, my protein? Yeah, your protein. I'm like, the meat? Like, I mean, they're not wrong. I always just kind of, I just kind of make fun of that because I think it's funny. Black pepper. Well, that's a little racist, don't you think? Vegan eggs. What is a vegan egg? Is that like shredded paper or something mixed with some milk? I don't know. All right, I'm gonna order this, guys. $10. That's pretty cheap to get out of Subway for $10. That's pretty good. Usually you're spending like 20. This is a gas station. Oh no, it's a gas station Subway. This might not be good. It is freaking cold out. I have a temperature of 29. $19.35 is the ETA on that. You got to be kidding me. All right, I need my coat. Well, I'm going to be cold. I would like to remind everybody I was in 75-degree temperature 24 hours ago. Did I ever see the semi again last night? No, I didn't. I wouldn't have known him even if I did, unfortunately. I'll take you guys with. If you're watching on Radar Omega, you're not going to see this because I don't have a way to bring the other camera into Radar Omega yet. I need to see if we can get another stream key made because I don't have any way to bring this into it. Oh, and the damn thing's dead. Well, that's a problem. Well, I guess I'm not taking you in. Let me get some gas and then we'll go in. Oh my god, it's like, oh Jesus, it is freezing out here. Freaking hood stuck in my coat. Oh, it's nasty out here. This sucks. The damn card readers all froze up. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get gas. This thing's so packed full of ice. 262, that's not terrible. Not for Illinois standards, anyway. Oh, this is nasty, especially coming from down... Like I said, it was 75 degrees where I was 24 hours ago. It's just nasty. Oh my god, come on. Pump's not taking my selection here. Please remove nozzle. I did. This fucking thing. This is ridiculous. Okay. We're in trouble now. It's not letting me select my gas, and it's not giving me gas. So I'm going to try one more pump, but this is really irritating. It's just annoying because it seems like every single time that I go to get gas somewhere, we pick the worst gas station where nothing works. Every single time, no matter what.
Turn left onto Carolyn.
So we're going to try this pump.
Then you'll turn right up. Head east, then make a U-turn.
I'm convinced that they're just trying to see how freaking cold I can get out here. Try this one. Like, it wanted me to select my fuel, but I hit the button like 500 times and it would not let me select fuel. So I tried the expensive gas and it wouldn't let me select that either. So I don't know what's going on. I just want to get out of here so bad. It's cold. Yuck. I'm gonna be pissed if I gotta turn around and go 20 minutes back south for gas. Oh, this one worked. Thank God. Oh man, we got lucky on that. I thought we were in some big trouble. Oh, that would have pissed me off. Anyway, I'm gonna post this Facebook real quick. I took a video of some of the snow and it's kind of cool. You can go look at it on Facebook. I'm putting it up right now. Alright, I posted it. It'll be up in a second. What did I just say? Go inside the store. Yeah, man, I will, I promise I will go in the store when I'm done pumping gas and I'm ready to. Why? Like, where's the fire? I'll be going inside the store when I want to go in there. What's the problem? What a weird thing to be upset about. Okay. Okay, you do this for a living. Awesome. All right. Well, then you probably know exactly what I'm talking about. Yeah, I get gas like 10 times a day, it seems like. So I totally get it. I've used a million of these pumps. It's not an issue with the payment. It's an issue with the pump. I don't think the buttons work. I think they're froze up. So I was pushing the button. It says remove thing, remove nozzle, and it was stuck on remove nozzle. It would not proceed past it. I suspect it's because the wind's blowing out of that direction, and we just had some freezing rain here. I think that the buttons are like working, but I think there's that flapper where the gas nozzle goes, and I think the flapper thing is not like coming down all the way. So I stuck my hand in there and I like cleared it out, and there was a bunch of ice, but it still wasn't. So I don't know. There's something wrong with the pump, but I think that's what it is. So it wasn't the payment. So if I were to go in there and that's why I didn't go in there and prepay, because it wasn't a payment issue. It was a pump issue. So I was afraid if I prepaid, it would have I'd be in the same boat. So I just figured just go to another pump, and here we are. But that's why I was saying the pump is just covered in snow and ice over there. But they've got almost every other pump has a bag on it. So I was starting to wonder. It's like, God, I hope they're not all out of service and the bags didn't just blow off. So I think I would have been in the same boat. This is one of the world's slowest gas pumps, though. And we just hit 18 gallons. We're going slowly. It is just blowing out here so hard right now. No. Like, I appreciate the input about how to fix the gas pump, but going inside and having them pre-authorize the pump and stuff, the gas pump won't give you gas until you select the type of gas. So for them to authorize everything, like, that's fine, but you still have to physically select the type of gas you want, because they've got 3 fuel grades, and if I can't select the gas, it won't give me gas, even if they put money on the pump or let the pump prepay or pay inside or whatever. Because if they've got pay inside buttons, they might even still do that here. Probably not, but so that was my logic, because it wouldn't. You can't physically pump gas. Like, there's a physical problem with the pump. So it was either we were just gonna not get gas or go to another pump. So I was like, screw it. I think what that pump needs is a hairdryer. All right, so in that little bit of time, this phone is charged up to 17%. So these things charge freaking fast. So that means I can take you in. Yeah, we're getting gas now. It's just apparently we're pumping at a rate of 1 gallon per day. Something's going on at this gas station. Like I said, those pumps are out of service. That one's out of service. Those ones are out of service. So I don't know if they might be having some problems here. We're going to go in and see if my food's ready. Radar Omega, you guys won't be able to see this, but YouTube you will. Oh my God, I'm barely getting my door open. God dang. Okay, switched over, we're good. It's a little slow to switch, but that's okay as long as it switches. Look at this ice. freezing rain. Oh. I did. It was for mints. I don't know if it's ready yet or not.
It is.
Okay, cool. And did I put the drink and chips on there too?
Yeah, and you can just grab them.
Okay, perfect. Thanks. Yeah, you too. That's not Pepsi. God damn it. Freaking blown over out here. Oh, this wind is awful. So. God damn it. Oh my god, what a freaking nasty weather. So I think I'm gonna eat now. I really don't want to talk to you guys anymore. Sorry. I kind of want to eat, so I think I'm gonna do that. I think I'm gonna eat and then not talk to you guys anymore. So it was nice talking to everybody. It stopped snowing, I think. So that was kind of a fun little update. We'll head over to a real chaser, idiot. Yeah, no shit, right? I would definitely do that. Let's see, which way am I going? Wow, we wasted like an hour there, didn't we?
Carolyn Drive. Take your next right onto County Road 2200 North. Turn right onto County Road 2200
I think I'm like 3 hours from home.
I-39 North, US 51 North ramp to Rockford.
Well, guys, I hate to drop everybody because we've got a decent amount of folks watching, but
Turn right onto the
I think I'm going to eat. We already streamed for about an hour and a half longer than I planned today, so... Oh, Patrick's here? I missed Patrick in there.
Continue for a quarter mile.
Anyway, I hope you guys have a good night. Sorry that I cut it short. I was going to keep talking, but then I got really hungry, and now here I am. So I'm going to eat my food instead of talk to you guys. But it's a pleasure live streaming. Thanks for the super chats that were in there. And support on the fundraiser. Remember, you can go follow us on Facebook and Twitter and stuff.
Continue on I-39 North.
Where are we getting tornadoes? Yes. Well, yeah. I mean, I was. It was also 75 degrees in Mississippi yesterday, and now it's like 25 degrees in Illinois. So, but still, yeah. No, I get it. I feel that way too because when I got in the car this morning, it was 66 degrees, and now it's 25, and it really is depressing. And I have extremely severe seasonal depression, and I just went through like 4 seasons, and I went the wrong way. Instead of going winter to summer, I went summer to winter. So I'm gonna go and have a depressive episode at my desk and cry, and go find a safe space to talk about how the words hurt me tonight. So have a good night, guys. Sorry for cutting it short because I actually do enjoy these live streams. So, but I will talk to you guys a little bit later on. I'll have an update on like Facebook and stuff like that here soon. So have a good night, everybody.